Hello everyone, my name is Kevin Rissmiller. I'm the author of several books, including this book called I Worked for Trump, available exclusively on Amazon. Go to Amazon.com and type in my first and last name to purchase your copy in either hardback or e-format, or e-reader book, or e-book. I am going to now read for you the chapter in this book, I Worked for Trump, which I did work for Trump, that's why I wrote the book. The title of the chapter is Orlando. This book was written in 2016. There is a date stamp on this chapter, and the date stamp is 4:29 p.m. June 15th, 2016. That's when this chapter was written. That's 4:29 p.m. June 15th, 2016, in the book I Worked for Trump by me, Kevin Rissmiller, available exclusively on Amazon. And so I begin reading chapter Orlando. That's the title of the chapter, Orlando. As I type these words, there is a press conference going on the television in the motel room I'm currently in, live from Orlando, Florida, talking about how a little boy from Nebraska was taken from a lagoon at the happiest place on earth, Disney World, by an alligator that killed the child. The officials are before a bouquet of microphones so large it partially obscures the speakers' faces that show the level of media attention on this current story. Florida, and the Orlando area specifically, has had a horrible weekend. The third place winner from the TV show The Voice, a beautiful young girl in her 20s, signing autographs after her concert in Orlando, was shot to death standing next to her brother, who wrestled the shooter to the ground and holding him till he could be taken into custody in the start of the weekend. Then, a man who called 911 and declared himself as an ISIS terrorist fighter went into a gay bar in Orlando called The Pulse and shot nearly a third of the 300 people there, killing 49 so far, wounding 53 others. Some still in critical condition, and then he himself killed by police. Being called the worst terrorist attack since 9/11, when terrorists seized several U.S. jumbo jets and flew them into the World Trade Center, the Pentagon, and the third was believed to have been headed to the White House as their target, but the people on board are believed to have taken back control of that plane, which unfortunately crashed in the Pennsylvania countryside. The Democratic presumptive nominee Hillary Clinton immediately politicizing the attack at the Pulse nightclub by using this attack to push an agenda to control on gun possession in America. Donald Trump surprising his supporters for tweeting on Twitter, a common electronic communication mode of the day over the internet, that he wants to meet with the NRA, National Rifle Association, to discuss the denial of purchasing guns by people on terrorist watch lists. The thing about this is that the shooter had been interviewed by the FBI, Federal Bureau of Investigation, twice for concern that he was being radicalized as a homegrown terrorist and supporter of the Islamic groups pledging war against the United States of America. Yet, the Democrats are pushing and blaming, in essence, the sellers of the gun to this individual and the laws allowing the legal purchase of this weapon. The problem is that would have never happened if the FBI had tagged this guy as a potential terrorist. The blame game is what is being played to push political agendas. The swift speed with which they did it was far too inappropriate. They didn't even give the country any time to not only grieve and deal with the circumstances of the event, but failed to express proper respect to the families of the victims. So much so that when the Speaker of the House, Paul Ryan, asked the House to observe a moment of silence for the victims, Democrats in the House disrespectfully shouted out things like, "What about the gun bill?" How disrespectful. They acted like children throwing temper tantrums, not dignified legislators. What has this country come to? We need new leadership, which Trump shall supply. We need Trump. Other countries are scared of him, which fear is something some shall call respect, a respect for the power of our country that has waned over time. It is reminiscent of the Reagan era of leadership. I was just discussing that with my host, that when Carter was president and Iranian terrorists held U.S. students hostage for many, many months, over a year as I remember, maybe 2 or more, but just before Reagan was being sworn in as president, Iran released the hostages. Not a coincidence. They feared what Reagan would do because they knew we would bomb the shit out of them. That is what I feel other countries are afraid Trump will do, and I bet he would. Someone punches a guy in the nose, your instinct is either fight or flight. In the same metaphor, the Democrats are flight. The Republicans are fight. We need to fight. We need to heal. We need to get ourselves right. Because if we are not right, we cannot help others. Common sense, which isn't as common as it once seemed to be. I also had discussed with my host the quotes of Jesus about how when hit, turn the other cheek. When a cost is taken, give them your, when a coat is taken, give them your tunic too. How if you walk a mile, go another mile. People today misunderstand what Jesus was really saying in the proper political context of the day, as I understand it. Simply put, the laws of the day said, for example, which was your clean hand and dirty hand to use, like in Islam and the Muslim religion. You wipe your ass with your left hand and do all the dirty tasks with that hand, keeping your right hand clean, again, as I understand it. So, what Jesus was really saying when he told people to turn the other cheek, he was saying, force the individual who offended you to shame themselves before their God and belief system, to use their clean hand to do their dirty work, to shame them. Similarly, when they take your coat, give them your cloak also, meaning to stand naked before them, thus shaming them with your nakedness. Again, shame them. It was also law of the day to force someone to carry your burden a certain distance. That was legal. But when you double that travel, it violates the law and again puts the shame, the illegality, the onus on the individual who is oppressing you. You show the wrong by shaming them. Jesus was highly political. What would Jesus do was a common phrase and was abbreviated onto bracelets and a wide variety of paraphernalia, WWJD. Well, what would Jesus do? he would shame the politicians who are showing that they are being ridiculous for their laws, who are legislating things to oppress the people under their leadership. He would educate the people to resist the stupidity of things, shaming the foolish politicians of the day. Excuse me. Trump does what Jesus does. He has shamed the Democrats and their foolish leadership by pointing out the ridiculousness of what they have done under the Obama administration and its leadership. And that concludes the reading of the chapter titled Orlando in my book titled I Worked for Trump, available exclusively on Amazon. Go there today, go there right now, and type in my first and last name and you will see it available. Right now I'm running a sale on it for 99 cents in ebook format that you can put on your phone or your tablet or whatever e-reader you choose to use. 99 cents, you can't go wrong. Go ahead and buy your copy and read it and share it with others and enjoy it. I appreciate you taking the time. Please like and share these videos. Please like my pages and groups and join my groups. I invite you to. I'm making 2 videos right now. One is Facebook Live and the other to be posted on my YouTube channel. Please feel free to go subscribe there. There's tons of videos there also. Thank you for your time and bless you all. And I'm ending the video at this time.